Oh, it has been a hot minute since we filmed one of these. And we're back. Happy New Year, everybody! I have COVID. So that's a lovely way to start the new year. But alas, we're going to push forward with the first video of the year. I couldn't think of a better way to start the new year than to do probably what is genuinely my favourite video to film, which is a TBR jar. And we're going up in the world. The TBR pint glass is no more. I bought an actual jar. Well, specifically, I asked for a jar for Christmas, which I think my parents were a little confused by. But we have a TBR jar. I may bring the pint glass back at some point because it felt right to me. It felt very me to do a TBR pint glass instead of a TBR jar. But for now, I thought we'd be professional and upgrade to a jar. So for anybody who's new here, the way I do these videos is I pick prompts out of a jar and we pick 8 books and a play. And that is going to pick our January reads, our first reads of the year. Technically, I've actually already finished a book this year. I finished it this morning. These are going to be my first reads of the year. This jar is important because it's going to determine how the year starts for us, which is exciting. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to do it. Let's get into it. Prompt number 1 is going to be... Prompt number 1 is an audiobook. That's a really boring start. But I know what I'm going to pick because I have already started it. It's a bit of a cheat. The only audiobook I've currently got on the go is The Curfew by T.M. Logan. I started it in my 24-hour readathon. I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't actually touched it since then, I don't think. So that would be a good one to just actually finish. It's a little bit cheating picking a book that I'm already halfway through. I don't normally do that. This is the only one I've currently got on the go, so I feel like it just makes sense. This book is about a boy called Connor who has a curfew and he doesn't come home for that curfew and his parents are very concerned, and it's basically a girl goes missing. It's a thriller. The kind of key question of the book is how far would a parent go to protect a child, and it's very interesting so far, and I do want to finish it. I'm going to be very cheeky and put a book that I'm already halfway through on the TBR, which I don't normally do and I won't be doing for the rest of these, but do you know what? It's my game, I make the rules, so sod it. Okay, prompt number 2. We've got Let the Wheel Choose. That is refusing to focus. The way we do this is we're going to pick either row 1 or row 2. We're not going to do row 3 just because there's a lot of stuff on there that isn't books. And then we will pick a square, and then from that square we will pick a book to read in that section. Does that make sense? Doesn't matter. We have the wheel picking row 1 or row 2 for us. It is row 2 by the looks of that. So we'll be picking a square from this section. And if it lands on a book I've already read, I'll just go to the next book on there. And like the same with this series. We've got section 4. Okay, section 4 has 1, 2, 3, 15, 16, 17. Section 4 has 17 books on it, and I actually haven't read any of those, I don't think. So whatever this lands on will be the book that we're reading. And there's a high likelihood it might be a Stephen King book, because just statistically there's a lot of Stephen King on there. We're reading book number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not a Stephen King. We have got Apples Never Fall by Liane Moriarty. This is a thriller, I believe. It says it's about Joy and Stan Delaney, who have 4 grown-up children, a successful family business. That pink font is really hard to read. They have a successful family business and their golden years ahead of them. Then Joy vanishes. Questions are asked, the police get involved, scratch the surface, and the seemingly happy family has much to hide. And with good reason. Sounds like classic, fun thriller, which is good, but we now have 2 thrillers on the TBR. And I've just finished a thriller as well, so that's fine, but the next books we need to avoid thriller, I think. I like to have a mix of genres. But okay, fun start so far. Okay, prompt number 3. We have got... Oh, this is just straight and easy, fantasy. Okay, well, I know what I'm picking for this. It's actually not in here, bear with me. Okay, I found it. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I actually read 14 pages of this and then just got completely sidetracked and forgot about it. So we will be restarting it. But for anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure we all do, this is the 2nd book in the Fourth Wing series. I haven't really seen that many people talk about this yet, so I don't know what the general consensus is. But Fourth Wing was beloved, like, by everyone, including me. And so I'm very excited to get to this. She is chunky. Yeah, over 600 pages. So it's This is a big old fantasy, but I definitely want to get to this month, so this one just makes sense to be on the TBR. Okay, prompt number 4. Let's go for this one. This is an author who is younger than you. Why have I gone out of my way to pick a prompt that is so annoyingly difficult to find out? Like, I don't know. I don't know how old anyone... I'm gonna have to sit for hours Googling how old everyone is. Oh, that's really annoying. I have just had a thought. I think... Where is it? Oh, here it is. I fell in love with Hope. And I've seen the author on Instagram and I think she's young. Let me Google it. She is 21. I'm 23. That counts. So this is a book called I Fell in Love with Hope. And I believe this is a dark, sad romance about a girl who falls in love with a boy in a hospital as he's dying, is all I know about it. And I bought this actually quite a long time ago, having seen it all over Instagram Reels. Basically kept seeing this because people were just crying at it. And if anyone knows me, I am a sucker for books that make you cry, so I want to cry too. I'm excited to finally get to this, so this is a good shout. And she's 21 years old and she's got a book out. That's pretty crazy. Okay, prompt number 5. We're storming through these. We have got... I don't even know what that means. A wintry book. I don't know when I wrote these prompts, but what does a wintry book mean? That's not even a word. I guess that's like an autumnal book because it's got leaves on it. I feel like thrillers are wintry books, but I don't want any more thriller on my TBR. Okay, I know what I'm picking, and you're gonna have to bear with me on the reasons. This is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and I'm picking this for 2 reasons. A, it's a blue cover, and I don't know, blue just gives me winter vibes. I feel like that makes sense, right? But also, I'm thinking Beautiful World, Where Are You? January is often like one of those like dark, sad months. It's very grey, at least it is in the UK. The days are short. So I feel like the title makes sense. It's like Beautiful World, Where Are You? Is anyone following that logic? I actually really like winter. It's probably actually my favourite season. So the logic doesn't totally track, but go with me. I don't know a whole lot about this. I know this is, I think, literary fiction. It says, Alice, a novelist, meets Felix, who works in a warehouse, and asks him if he'd like to travel to Rome with her. In Dublin, her best friend Eileen is getting over a breakup and slips back into flirting with Simon, a man who she has known from childhood. They are all still young, but life is catching up with them. They desire each other, they delude each other, they worry about sex and friendship and the times they live in. Will they find a way to believe in a beautiful world? So I still don't know what it's about, but it sounds fun. I think this will be a good choice for the TBR. Not sure it totally fits the prompt, but whatever. Again, it's my game, I make the rules. So this is prompt number 6. Let's go for this one. This is beautiful. A 5-star prediction. Again, not focusing. We could do ACOTAR, but I've put this on every single TBR, and I'm reading it in the next few weeks, but I don't know if that video will be in January. And I don't want to put it on another TBR and it not be included again, so I think that video might be in February. It is getting read, and it will be up in February, I think. But yeah, so we're going to stay clear of ACOTAR. I'm picking Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. I am so excited to read this, and I do think it's going to be a 5 stars. This is about a woman who is on a submarine mission, and the submarine submerges or something goes wrong, and she's sort of lost at sea for a while. And then when she comes back, she returns to her wife, and her wife knows that something's gone on and something's wrong, and she's trying to figure out what. I've only heard one person speak about it, and for the life of me, I can't remember who it was, but I remember that person loved it. And I remember listening to that review and being like, I need to read this. So I think this is going to be our choice for a 5-star prediction. Right, we've only got 2 more books and a play to pick. That's kind of sad. Okay, prompt number 7. Prompt number 7 is a reread. And there is one very clear choice for me in this. I am currently doing a reread of the Gone series. I actually am about 3/4 of the way through Gone, and I haven't actually quite finished it yet, but I know I'll be finishing that like within the next few days. And then I think what makes sense is to pick the next one, Hunger by Michael Grant. This is the second book in the Gone series, which is about a world where all the adults disappear and all the kids are trapped in this big dome, and they start developing sort of magical powers, and it's basically like kind of Lord of the Flies vibe. Society goes bit chaotic and dangerous. And I'm really loving the series and being back in the world, so I think it makes sense to just continue with this. Okay, our penultimate choice, our last novel, and then we're going to do the play. The prompt is, let's go for this one. This is Reread a Book You Love. I'm actually not going to do this, just because I think it's a bit rubbish to have 2 rereads on a TBR. And also I would probably end up just picking the next one in the Gone series, so I think that's just a bit rubbish, so I'm actually going to pick a different one. Okay, let's go for this one. This says, I should not have swapped the longest book on your physical TBR. I should not have swapped. Well, it probably was Iron Flame, but I've already picked that. All the Light We Cannot See is pretty long. Cloud Atlas is pretty long. Happy Place? No, that's only 380. Not sure how I missed that. It's going to be A Little Life, isn't it? I feel like I missed this last time we had this prompt, because I swear this has been on my TBR for ages. Okay, this is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and this is 720 pages. That's a long book. So I have actually seen the play for this in London, which was absolutely incredible. So I do have like a fairly good understanding of the story, but I do think that the play and the book have quite a lot of differences, which makes sense because, I mean, the book is massive. There's obviously so much detail. So I know a lot of the content and the sorts of conversations that I had in this book. There's a lot of very, very heavy material in this. I haven't looked up the trigger warnings for this book, but I imagine it's incredibly long if the play is anything to go off. And if anyone is wanting to read this, I do suggest you look it up. But I adored the play. I thought it was wonderful, if completely heartbreaking and shattering. And it's time to get to the book. Okay, so that is all of the books that we're picking, and now we have the play to pick. I say this every single time, not every single prompt works in here for a play, so sometimes you have to pick more than one prompt, but with any luck, it will actually just work first time, which has never happened yet, but you never know. Okay, our prompt for the play is, oh, beautiful, free choice. Okay, that's so easy. We can pick any play we want. That works beautiful. I'm going to go for Present Laughter by Noel Coward. I believe this is a farce or a comedy, meant to be quite fast-paced and crazy. I believe this was an actor, and it says, before he escapes on tour to Africa, the full extent of his misdemeanours is discovered and all hell breaks loose. And I think this is meant to be like fast-paced, quite funny, quite silly. I just think it'll be like a fun counteract to some of the other heavier books on the TBR. Like, we've got A Little Life. I feel like we need some comedy. So that rounds out the TBR. Oh, this feels like a hefty pile, and we've still got The Curfew by T.M. Logan as well. But this is January's TBR with The Curfew, Apples Never Fall, Iron Flame, I Fell in Love with Hope, Beautiful World, What Are You, Our Wives Under the Sea, Hunger, A Little Life, and Present Laughter. That's not a bad TBR. Thank you very much for being here and for watching. I do really, really appreciate it. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful year of reading. I am excited. I'm hoping to read more books than I've ever read before. Please do subscribe. It does mean the world to me. And you can follow along and see me read some, if not all of those books, hopefully all of those books. I'm going to try and actually stick to my TBRs a bit better this year. I was alright last year, but I'd like to, yeah, if possible, stick to them a little bit more. But thank you for being here, and I hope you have a beautiful, fabulous, marvellous, magnificent, wonderful, I've run out of adjectives, rest of your day. Bye!